Hello. How's everyone doing? Good to see you all. What is going on with my hair? Anyway, it is what it is. How's everyone's day been? What beautiful weather we've had, eh? So we've had. I didn't watch the Boris thing. I missed it. I was busy doing something. But I heard that we will be able to start seeing more people as of Monday, which is incredible. Can't wait. What's everyone been up to today? Anything out or no? Lockdown hair. Yeah, man. It's going mental. Bit right. There's this bit here. It's just like, whatever. Welcome to Lockdown Hair. So yeah, I got a new toy and I can now loop. I've got a looping pedal, courtesy of Gary Linley. Thank you, mate. So I am going to try that tonight. It could either be the Post Malone song or my original. So cast your votes now. I don't mind either way, but I will be learning some new songs that I can loop. I'm starting to think of ones that it'd be possible to do it with, because I quite enjoy it. It's good fun. Who have we got in? Hey, Michael, number 1 in the comments. Good work. Imi, how you doing? Close second. No, you were second. Close to being first. Well done. Good effort. It's dedication, though, right? What else we got in here? My mum. She's always supporting the channel. Love that. Maggie. Always. How you doing, James? Good to see you, Gary. Steve, how you doing? Michael? Both Michaels? All the Michaels? Ooh, a Galaxy phone. S20. I don't know what that means. I'm so not savvy when it comes to phones and technology. Looping pedal with your own, please. Okay, no worries. I'll do that then. It was too early. It doesn't really matter to me. I think at the end of the day, he was first. Oh no, I shouldn't. I'm not even going to comment. So tonight we've got Tom Lumley again. We had him on. It's going back a bit now, but it has absolutely flown. But last time we had a few technical issues, whether it be internet or I don't know. There was just a few glitches. So we've had sound check and it sounds awesome. He's now going through an interface. He's got a mic. He's got his guitar all plugged in and everything. And if it goes as well as it did during sound check, then we're in for a good one. Okay, I'm going to play my song. 'cause I don't wanna know anybody and I wanna save my life. I don't wanna know. And I know my body and my soul ain't working right, 'cause I don't wanna know anybody and I wanna stay inside. That's not who I am now, that's not what I want. Lately I've been thinking I want so much more. And so it is, and keep things simple, smile and be grateful, and know that everything's gonna be alright. If this ain't living, then I don't know what is. Just know that everything's gonna be just fine. And why your eyes don't wanna be divided by who we used to be, who we used to be. And I know my body and my soul ain't working right, 'cause I don't wanna know anybody and I wanna stay inside. I'm just sick of coasting, I just need a rest. Lately I've been thinking I just don't know where. And so it is, keep things simple, smile and be grateful, but know that everything's gonna be alright. If this ain't living, then I don't know what is. Just know that everything's gonna be just fine. And why your eyes don't wanna be divided by who we used to be, who we used to be. Who we used to be. And I know my body and my soul ain't working right, 'cause I don't wanna know anybody and I wanna stay inside. That's not who I am now, that's not what I want. Lately I've been thinking I want so much more. And so it is, and keep things simple, smile and be grateful, and know that everything's gonna be alright. If this ain't living, then I don't know what is. Just know that everything's gonna be just fine. And why your eyes don't wanna be divided by who I used to be. Yeah, I need to work on that pedal. It's a little bit more complicated than I thought it was, but we'll get there. Don't like throwing yourself in the deep end and just trying it. I literally plugged it in yesterday and had about 10 minutes on it, and then I've just tried it live. Why not, eh? So I will work on it. All right. I'm just going to jump into the show now, because I think Tom is ready and waiting in the green room backstage. He's giving me the thumbs up. Right, let's go. Here we go. I've kicked him off every time. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Look at you with all your technology and stuff.
Have you noticed, really weirdly, I've honestly not done anything different since soundcheck, and look at the writing.
Oh, you're the right way round.
I'm the right way around.
How weird's that? And we sound like crazy people saying that.
Anyone that's watching doesn't know what's going on.
Basically, during soundcheck, Tom realised that his webcam on his computer doesn't work, so we had to tether it to his phone, and it played everything backwards, so he was all the wrong way around. The picture behind him was all the wrong way around. The roads on his microphone looked weird. And now he's come back on, and you're the right way around.
It's just
winning.
Like magic.
I think you paid for the app. That's what it is.
Honestly, haven't. It's what they say, don't they? Just turn things off and on, off and on.
Yeah. IT department. We tried switching it on and off again.
Should point out to everyone as well that I'm looking up a bit because my screen on my computer's broken as well. So, so I'm looking at a TV screen with the computer going through it.
Oh, that's funny.
But
Maybe
yeah,
look into the camera.
We have new technology though, yeah.
You do. You're like almost a pro now with multiple different devices tethered together to make something. So
Way too
good
many
work.
devices.
Why don't you if
Um,
I bring stuff up on the screen, comments and stuff, I'll let you know. But why don't you look into the camera? Because it looks strange. You're looking at the telly.
It
there we
does look
go.
weird, I know, yeah. Right.
Just look at the camera, despite there not being. Yeah, it must be hard.
Everyone's saying that I'm quiet. Do I need to turn?
Okay, let's. Oh, I didn't notice that. Well spotted. Yeah, just turn up your master a little if you can, or get a little closer to your mic.
We'll get a bit closer to the mic. And hello, everyone. The only thing with going louder. No, it's gonna be fine. Can
Is
everyone
that
hear
better,
me better
guys?
now? Let me know.
Oh, the guitar sounds beautiful.
Thank you. It's a nice guitar. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a mate called which way am I going? They're a mate called Larivi.
No, I can't say I have.
And from what I know, they're like a small company based in Canada that used to provide the wood for like Taylor and Martin. And
Oh,
they make
right.
their own guitars, and they are just sensational. They feel so nice.
It sounds incredible. Sorry, you're still quite quiet. For me, you seem
Still quiet.
really nice, but if people are saying you're still quiet, just maybe kick the volume up a little.
I'll turn it up slightly, yeah. How about that? Let's see if that's an improvement.
Just go full tilt and then
Am I
rein
too
it in.
loud now, and you?
For me, it's all right.
Yeah.
But I
Hopefully-
obviously, it's more the guys watching that need to hear you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
obviously,
know.
I need to hear you, but I'm saying it sounds good to me.
Doesn't seem that there's any latency now either.
Yeah, check us out.
You said it was if it goes like earlier, it'll be good. I feel like it's going better. Touch wood.
Yeah. Up. More voice.
Up
Still
more.
more. Yeah, more.
Ugh. We're gonna be.
We don't
peaking.
have the power.
We don't. So funny enough, Scottish. I think your it is your uncle, isn't it, Pete? That we
My
spoke
cousin.
about your cousin. Sorry, he's
Yeah.
coming on to watch him briefly.
Oh, is it?
Soon. Yeah, he said he's got a fit. Well, I'm meant to be doing fitness as well, but then he's coming on after.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Very good. I haven't seen him in a while. And obviously he's well on the mend now, isn't he, after his
Yeah,
little
he's well on the
accident?
mend. Up more. We still need to go up more. Are we?
Okay, let's just wait. From now we're asking if it needs to go up, because
Yeah.
that surely
From
not.
now.
Anyway, how have you been? How's isolation treating you?
It's been good. It's been mad. Like, I still can't believe it's been. Like, today was 10 weeks since my day job stopped. Oh, Casper's saying it's not changing. That's really weird
Really?
because it's really changing in my ears. I'm getting a lot
Yeah.
louder. Oh, we thought we
Uh,
got the
wha-
technology working.
I know we genuinely thought we were nailing it. Fine here, sounding great now. Try a
Okay.
tune.
That's my sister. Hello, Cara. It's changed for me. Casper sounds perfect volume now.
Okay,
Okay,
right,
cool.
we're gonna go with it. The majority have said
The
it's fine. We
general.
can't spend an hour talking about how turning your volume up and down.
No.
So you were saying it seems strange because obviously you're 10 weeks now of not having your normal
Day
job.
No. So I've been
That's
literally
mental.
been able to just sit at home and goof around doing music all day every day, which is awesome.
Which is the dream, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we all want to do.
Oh, there we go. Every cloud, eh?
Yeah, exactly. What about you? How's isolation been?
All right, yeah, keeping busy. I'm busier than ever, if I'm honest. It's it's pretty mental. I genuinely thought that it was all going to be doom and gloom when everywhere started closing, because I just didn't think I'd be able to survive. Running a business remotely and doing that sort of stuff, and all my gigs and everything were cancelled, as you probably went
Yeah.
through all that as well. You had your tour cancelled, didn't you? Which we
Yeah.
discussed last time. Which,
Killer.
but obviously it's for the greater good and stuff. But I think for the majority, it's nice to see people adapting and
Yeah.
making do and turning it into a positive and stuff like that.
It does feel like something that now we've kind of got and if they did find a vaccine, it's just going to have to become part of life, and we're all going to have to be bit more sensible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we don't have to talk about it too in
Nope.
depth and stuff, but at the same time, it is important. Like, I think even when a vaccine is, I was reading an article basically saying that even if this vaccine comes out, we shouldn't class this as some sort of magic bullet that's going to change everything for us.
Nah.
You know, I think we're going to have to brace ourselves for a little longer at least, potentially staying like this. Although they have changed. I don't know. Did you watch Boris's speech today?
I didn't watch it, but I've seen what happened, which is
Yeah.
it's nice. I mean, obviously, we don't want a second spike. Well, that is going to happen. I think, unfortunately, I think there's no way around it really. Eventually, we will have another climb. Hopefully not as big a climb, but we will have a climb. But I think it is going to be nice, obviously, to at least be able to see a few more people outside of the four walls that you're living in.
I know, yeah. It's just mental. It blows my mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could literally be all somber about it for the rest of the show if we want, but it's just one of those we've just got to make the best of it.
It's been good. I've genuinely actually feel like I've been pretty proactive and achieved quite a bit since lockdown. Like you said, like you feel like you've been busier. It's felt the same here. I think the more you're doing with it felt like nothing was going to move and all we had was an EP to be released and that was it. But the more I've been sat at home, the more I've been doing, the more I've been emailing different people and stuff. It feels like we've actually gained a lot more for when we come out of this. Which is good. So
because you can't find the time to be able to do the admin things that you probably kind of put on a back burner, because at the end of the day they're not necessarily priority. As a musician, you want to play songs, play gigs, play your music, record. They're all the bits that you like doing, and I wouldn't say by any means they're easy, but they're the parts you enjoy the most. Sometimes doing the admin's the hard bit. Yeah,
it definitely is. Like, especially now with maybe 10 years ago, not so much, but now with the way social media is and how important it is to bands, it is non-stop, as you'll know with everything that you do as well with the band and with Assembly.
Yeah.
So
it's weird, isn't it? Like, I think you start to learn that it's not actually as complicated as we always thought it was. You know, like being on top of your socials and stuff like that, and even just reaching out to people. It's just daring to do it. It's just daring to ask for, you know, will you review my song? Will you put this in your webazine, or, you know, whatever it might be. But it's reaching out half of the time.
100%.
But if you haven't got the time to reach out because you're doing a 9 to 5, you're recording, you're writing, you're rehearsing, you're gigging, and you're doing everything else in between, finding the time to do that isn't always quite as simple as that, is it?
I mean, I'm quite lucky that I work for my mum and dad, but there has been times where I'm meant to be working and they've caught me sort of emailing people in the middle of the day and like, I don't pay you to do that.
You're fired.
I'm like,
I'll see you at home.
And I'm like, but mum, it's an important email. I need to send this important email.
Then you're just like Facebooking someone.
So yeah,
just dropping.
That's the thing is you do.
How's your day?
You do the one message you need to do, and then you get sidetracked, and then you realise that you are pointlessly sat there on your phone when you're not meant to be.
Yeah, it is what it is. Right, man, I think let's get a tune from you, because obviously people have said that your volume was quiet and now it's absolutely perfect. What better way to showcase this perfect sound that you have by playing a song?
Let's hope it's perfect.
Yes, man. Right, if anyone would like to drop Tom a question, please get it in the comments. If you wouldn't mind starting your question with a Q, then that way I can find your questions quicker in the sea of comments. Everyone seems to have gone really quiet since saying that your sound was...
Yeah, since we started talking, it was like the comments all stopped.
Yeah, unless they really can't hear us, or they genuinely can't hear us, or they're proper listening.
Proper listening, or they couldn't hear us and they've all left, and now we're just here.
They've just left the phone on the side and walked away, and just left the numbers in the stream. Anyways, you play your song, mate, and I'll see if the comments come back to life.
Okay.
Take it away.
Okay, I'm gonna do a single from the EP we released, which I was pushing last time I came on with Matt, and this is called Shrink. I need to get some rest, it's all in my head. I need to get some sleep and just learn to breathe, well that's what she said.
I need to take some time and take the weight off my mind, because I'm losing touch. This is all too much. Well, this is my life in decline. She's trying to help in my mind. She's trying to fix what she finds, but I don't think it's helping at all. No, I don't think it's helping. I take it. They say I'm never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I take it. They say I'm never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I'm giving it all that I have. I'm leaving it all where I stand, but I ain't really moving at all. No, I ain't really moving at all. How did I get so lost? It's like my mind's tying knots. While my life comes undone, my head's on the run. I'm running with these thoughts I've got. How do I stop these clocks rolling on while I just get blocked from the life that I want, the things I've not got? I'm feeling like the laughing stock. She's trying to help in my mind. She's trying to fix what she finds, but I don't think it's helping at all. No, I don't think it's helping. I take it. They say I'm never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I take it. They say I'm never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I'm giving it all that I have. I'm leaving it all where I stand, but I ain't really moving at all. No, I ain't really moving at all. I take it, they say I'll never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I take it, they say I'll never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I'm giving it all that I have. I'm leaving it all where I stand, but I ain't really moving at all. No, I ain't really moving at all.
Thank you very much.
Boom, mate. So
Thank you.
good.
It's so weird doing them acoustically. I think I said that last time, but it still seems weird.
It resonates really well. I was listening to your Spotify today, actually. I was driving around and had that track blasting out. And the energy of that recording is awesome. It's wicked.
Thanks, man.
And,
Appreciate that.
but you still definitely do it justice acoustically. I think it definitely cuts through. It's really
Thank
good.
you.
And also, the fact that your audio's so perfect now is just it just makes everything all
working,
that much better. It
I'm
really is.
I'm happy with it. I feel like
Yeah.
the old Focusrite interface has been a good investment.
Yes, mate. Definitely.
I still keep on looking up
100%.
at the screen, which is probably...
It's all right. You can look wherever you want, mate. It's fine. Whatever you're most...
It's so hard. When you're talking to someone, obviously, it's so hard not to look at them.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm
want
just
to make
like,
eye contact with them, but you're just looking at a phone. Yeah, I understand.
okay.
It's whatever you're most comfortable doing, mate.
Okay.
Yeah. So we talked about that single and stuff a little. It's been getting a lot of love in general. Like,
Yeah.
did it get playlisted and stuff? With like, has it landed a few playlists on Spotify and
Yeah,
also
I mean,
Radio 1's been championing it and
it had quite a few
stuff.
cool Spotify things. It's definitely grown our Spotify for us, which is really cool. The whole EP has since we released it.
that's
But yeah,
wicked.
with radio, it was the track before it, Casual, which is also on the EP, was sort of our first breakthrough track with Radio 1.
Yeah.
But Shrink, there was obviously the worry of following it up, wondering if we were going to land the sort of radio support that Casual got, but it did. It got played on Radio 1 by Hugh Stevens and people,
Wicked.
and Radio X playlisted, and so far more than what we expected, or it's what you hope for. So
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
when you achieve it, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Because you're in a sea of other musicians trying to achieve exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I think like no, go ahead.
No, go on. Yeah, like you say, there's a sea of people, and I think the thing with BBC Introducing is they're so good for supporting up and coming bands, as we know, and on the regional shows you get so much support. But with Hugh Stevens, like he's got 1.5 hours now a week for the BBC Introducing Show on Radio 1. It used to be like 3-4 nights a week, I think it was, and now it's 1.5 hours on a Sunday. So like you say, there's a lot of bands uploading, and to be included in that 1.5 hour, he's now played 3 tracks off the EP, which is
that is so
bonkers.
Cool, man.
So
that is really cool.
I think that sort of level of support.
So you're like best mates with him now?
Well, we've not actually really spoke to him yet. I literally, before we got our first play, like they do this thing called BBC Introducing Live, which is in London at a place called Tobacco Docks, and you go down and they've got all seminars and how to do this and how to get your music here and blah, blah, blah. And I handed him a CD there and spoke to him, and I just remember being like really nervous, like, hi Stu, hi Hugh, can I give you my CD? And then he was like, yeah, like his real Welsh accent, I'm not going to attempt it. He's like, thanks. And then he said, really impressed with the standard of the CD. And then I walked off, and then he played it.
As in like
cool.
the packaging of the CD?
Yeah, he was like, I think he's obviously used to, we really went a bit all out with the CDs in making them look like proper CDs instead of just a CD with writing on it in permanent marker in an envelope. So
as much as that DIY like punk rock vibe is cool and everything, it kind of runs its course when you're 5 CDs in, and it's no longer because it's cool and punk rock. It's more that you can't afford to get the CDs printed. So
I think it
reaching out to actually do it is good.
It got to that point where it was like we've tried those CDs a few times now. We've never had any place. Let's try something different.
Yeah. So now that's one thing that we learned. I got taught when we sort of like went from recording DIY, like just on our laptop at home and stuff, and then we started going to a studio near us in Birstall. A guy called Grant Henderson. He basically like taught us everything that we needed to know about just trying to market your band more than just recording a number of songs and then that's it. Like it was more like how does your artwork speak about the product? You know, like the actual like however many songs are on it. Is it like a concept album, or do you know what I mean? Like it was more than just like us bundling a bunch of songs together and going, oh, that picture's cool. He kind of made us think about it, and then ever since then, that's kind of how we've sort of looked at further. Whenever we release anything, we kind of look at it in that sort of vein now, which is cool.
I think that's the thing as well, is like you say about how to market a band. A lot of people think it's as easy as you get together with your 3 mates, you write some songs and they blow up. But even the bands that are big, like Catfish and the Bottlemen are a perfect example. I always go to them because they gigged relentlessly and pushed themselves for years.
I think it was like 12 years, or maybe not as much. 7 years.
It was 10
it was
years.
a long time.
10 years.
Huh?
It was 10 years, I believe. Yeah, of just at points they were living in a van and about to give up, and just going and going and going. And it's the same with lots of bands that in the indie rock sort of side of things, that it isn't just putting a song out like we said and you blow up. With a major label backing you, there's so much goes into marketing your band, so much more behind the songs and performing live to get you to that point of the major label actually taking notice. So and it like from what I remember rightly, with Catfish, I think they were like close to just like you say calling it, and they played in Manchester to about 4 people, and they played it as if it was an arena show. They just rocked out and just went all out. And one of the people in that room at that time went, you guys should be playing arenas. Like, we need to sort of look at marketing you properly. And he, like, pushed them onto major labels. So it was the right person in the room at the time that they played. It's literally, I do like Catfish, as you can probably tell, as I've brought them up.
Yeah.
But a company called Communion Music, you've probably heard of. They're one of the Mumford and Sons people. I'm not sure which one. One of them has set it up. But Communion were the first it was that gig that I'm not sure if it was Manchester or where it was, but yeah, they took them on. They were literally about to give up, and then they were like signed them to their independent label,
insane,
and obviously had loads of contacts within the industry and helped build them up. So
but also to put it in perspective of as much as Catfish and the Bottlemen are like have skyrocketed and become a huge household name already. Another example of that is Snow Patrol. They'd been going for 12 years. Before they had a hit, and I think they'd had radio success and like stuff like that in between. And I think they'd
Nothing.
also released Run before it actually blew up, and they had to re-release it, and then it blew up.
That's with a lot of bands, even down to going more mainstream like Ed Sheeran. He released the
Yeah.
18 way before he blew up,
That's
and
insane, isn't it?
re-recorded it. And I mean, if we're really talking about people that are like you should never give up and you should keep going, like Tina Turner, obviously.
Yeah,
She was singing all her life, and she didn't get her break until she was 40.
that's a
Which,
really good example of
which is mad.
like bit of persistence in it.
Yeah. It's a hard industry, and you've got to do something obviously to stand out. So
Yeah, and I think also a common thread of this show is understanding what it is you're actually trying to achieve and making sure that it's clear in your mind, because
Yeah.
I think the likes of Ed Sheeran and Catfish and stuff like that, they very clearly stated that they want to be an arena band or even a stadium band. So like they've they're grafted for that, but they could have quite easily plateaued and stayed at like even an academy band and had a really, really successful and comfortable lifestyle at that point as well.
Exactly.
So yeah,
it's definitely you've got to know what you and the main thing of it as well is still enjoying it. I've found since maybe a few years ago we were trying to write songs that we thought people would maybe like more and would maybe get us radio play, and we still always wanted to keep our own image and for us to actually like it. But I guess at times you obviously, when you're a young up and coming band, you do strive to be on Radio 1 and things like that, so you do try and shape to that. And it's been since we actually started writing exactly what we wanted to write and exactly what we actually like that people have started to like it. I think
isn't that ironic?
Exactly, and I think it is a good example of you've got to know what you want to do and do what you want to do. Otherwise it won't feel real to people and they'll be able to notice and they won't support it. So
that's great advice, mate. Really good advice. Right, anyways, we've had quite a few
coming from a nobody. But
mate, honestly, that I don't underestimate at all how far you've come and like how far you're going as well. Like people are recognizing your talent, and you should give yourself the credit. Like
Thanks,
you're a good musician, great musician. I'm looking forward to seeing the full band lineup as well. Again, like I wanna see that in the flesh. With the whole energy and everything. I did absolutely love your isolation video that you've just recently put up as well.
Did you see it?
Yeah, man, wicked.
Thanks.
It comes across so well. You got another one coming out, haven't you, tonight? Or it's come out tonight?
It's just
is that the
come
one
out.
from tonight? I'm confused.
Is it the one I sent you?
Is that the latest one?
The one I sent you is the latest one, yeah.
All right, okay, sick.
Came
So-
out 6 o'clock. So if anyone wants to hear
So
the
after
full band,
after this stream, after this
the
stream, if oh well, you can head over whenever you like. You can come and go as you please, but obviously I'd like you to stick around. You should head over to Tom's Facebook page, I believe, and check out their isolation videos. They've been putting up like split screen, full band live recordings of a number of their songs. They've done. This is the second one, right?
Yeah, this is the second one.
Sweet, yeah.
Which is cool. We enjoyed doing them. It was definitely a learning curve, like you say, with the new technology, with buying things to be able to record. I didn't have a clue before lockdown, and now we're putting stuff like that together, which seems pretty cool.
Yeah, man, absolutely. That's the thing. You adapt, don't you? And you work things out as you go. It's crazy what you can achieve when you put your mind to it. If you're forced to do it, if your hands are forced to do it, then you kind of
Exactly.
You get on with it, don't you? Right, mate. We've had a couple of questions in, so let's get some questions in.
Okay.
What's the best bit of advice you've been given for your musical career?
I kind of got given the same advice by two musicians that, although they're not one of them isn't an influence in my music necessarily, but they're both people I liked at different times. One was Ed Sheeran, which was when he started to make it. It was still fairly on, but he said to me like, just never give up, never keep going, which we've already kind of discussed.
He actually said these words to you.
He said to me, I asked him, I was about 16 years old, and I said to him, what would be your one bit of advice, and he said, just never stop. Like, just keep going.
Sorry, I just need some context.
Yeah.
Where was Ed Sheeran in this scenario?
So
why?
So it was before. I think we discussed last time that I lived in Spain. Did we discuss that?
No,
I lived in Spain until I was.
I don't
18.
think so. All right, okay.
And there's a festival in Spain called Beni Kassim. So it's kind of like Spain's Reading and Leeds. And he was playing that festival. I happened to have some backstage tickets for the festival, and I was a little pestery 16-year-old that was like, "Oh, what advice would you give me?" And he did say to me, "Just keep going and going and going." And he said, "Even if you feel like what you're writing isn't good, keep writing, because eventually the good stuff will come out." And at the same festival, a guy who was one of my idols at the time, a guy called Miles Kane, he said exactly the same thing. He said, like, he didn't get his break really with the solo career until he was 27, which seems to be around the average sort of age for really making a career out of music if you're going to.
Oh crap! I'm screwed out.
I shouldn't have said that. You're not past 27, Matt.
I'm 31, mate.
No, you're not 31.
I am. I'm past it. Oh no!
I wouldn't put your day past 25, 26, mate.
Yes, well, that's as long as I look that old, then I still have a chance. Clawing it back, Tom.
But yeah, they both basically said just to, like what we've already discussed, is just keep going and keep believing, and that's the only way you'll ever get anywhere. So
great advice.
That was my favourite advice that I've been told.
Good advice, definitely is. I think that's half the battle. It becomes hard work.
Yeah.
You know, anything that turns into hard work is you're more likely to be kind of more inclined to just go, yeah, kind of don't fancy doing this today.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'm not going to do this again today. And then before you know it, a year's passed and you've not done anything to learn your craft.
Exactly. The other one, I'd say it's not necessarily to do with music, it's to do with everything in life. But I think it really applies to music, and especially in the music industry, that my dad always said to me from when I was born, if you don't ask, you don't get. He kind of regretted it at times, but but it definitely.
Yeah, every time he'd be like, "What do you want now, Tom?" And you're like, "Well, you did say if you don't ask, you don't get."
You see that new $2,500 Ibanez that they've released? No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely. We've had support slots or things like that, literally just through being cheeky enough to find out who the manager of the band is and send them an email being like, "Can we please play the show?" And
I wouldn't class that as cheeky. I would class that as thinking outside the box and being proactive. I think that's good, man. I think that's. Yeah. It would be cheeky if they said no and you turned up and started setting up your stuff.
Yeah, that would.
And then I think there's a potential line of maybe being cheeky.
Yeah.
Right, mate. Sorry, dude. We have more questions. I'm gonna find them all, but we're having such a great conversation, and it's so easy to talk to you, mate, and we could probably talk all night, but I really want to make sure you get a chance to play all your songs, and I don't want to have to rush you through them. So should we get another tune from you, and then we'll run through some more questions, and I'll try plan a few. There's no guarantees, but I'll try.
Definitely.
All right, man.
Yeah, it's so easy to get lost in conversation.
It is. Take it away, mate.
Okay, so this is a bit of an older one. Goes by the name of Just Like the Light.
Look in your eyes and danger screams, 'cause they tell me lies that I'll believe. I guess you changed your mind. Popularity I've gone down in price on your street. You only want me when you've been let down, only want me when they're not around. It's the only time that I hear you scream, hello, hello. You only want me when you've been let down, only want me when they're not around. It's the only time that I hear you scream, hello, hello. Just like the light, you've gone again, the only one I call my friend. Won't you come back now? Won't you come and stick around? Just like the light, you've gone again. no surprise that you set me free. I stood by your side and you neglected me. I guess you changed your mind. Fame on TV, I've been pushed aside by celebrities. You only want me when you've been let down, only want me when they're not around. So many times that I hear you scream, hello, hello. Just like the light, you've gone again. The only one I call my friend. Won't you come back now? Won't you come and stick around? Just like the light, you've gone again. Just like the light, you've gone again. The only one I call my friend. Won't you come back now? Won't you come and stick around? Just like the light, you've gone again.
Thank you.
Nice work, mate. Sounding
Nice.
great.
Yeah. Cheers. Oh, that doesn't sound great. Don't take the
Oh.
guitar off.
It's all right. Who needs that guitar, anyways?
Yeah.
Anyways, mate, sounds wicked. Right. Okay. So you mentioned about Ed Sheeran, how he used to be quite influential to you back in the day. Would you say that's still the case now? Because one of the questions was, who are your musical influences? I just wondered if he was still up there.
No. I mean, I always liked Ed Sheeran. No. He is in the sense of what he's achieved is incredible. And although...
Right, I see.
I think definitely, like, you got to look at his way of doing everything. I mean, obviously, a loop pedal is a thing now that we're all used to and use. A lot of people use, but
Well, I'm
like
only
you
just
did.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, this is the first time I've ever really tried it.
It
Ever since
sounded good.
going on to Isolation, I've just thought I'd learn how to use it, and I started off with the little vocal pedal one, and now I've got one that actually picks up the guitar rather than having to put the mic to the sound hole.
Yeah.
But it's actually a real art in itself. It's hard graft. It's because if you screw up, there's no going back.
it's one
So,
thing needs to go at a time, and it's like
Yeah. It
so-
loops the mistake over and over and over, just
Okay.
like a constant reminder that you're not very good at guitar.
That is very true. But yeah, I think in the sense of before Ed Sheeran, although they were a thing, people didn't know of them as much, like general public.
Yeah,
So I
he
think
definitely
in the sense
popularised it,
of the way he thought outside the box and did something new, and he's blown up massive, fair play to him.
yeah.
Definitely inspirational in that sense, but influences music-wise, he was never an influence necessarily for the music that I wanted to do. I was always more down the indie rock side of things.
Got you.
Growing up, I always played guitar in bands and wanted to be in Iron Maiden or AC/DC. So that was my first gig I ever went to was Iron Maiden, and
That's wicked.
so it's very different
Can't
to. It was that, and then there was also before that. To be fair, that my dad was always trying to drum punk into me, like the Undertones and Stiff Little Fingers and the Stranglers, which I do like all that music. But then I got into rock, and then I think it was when I then went into like sort of the indie side of the rock, like Arctic Monkeys and Pigeon Detectives and the Killers and Kings of Leon. That was when that was the sort of music I wanted to do, essentially.
Yeah. Wicked. Oops.
Currently, though, the Amazons, absolutely obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the radio singles, I don't think I've actually probably given them a proper listen. I might have to take you up on the recommendation and actually
If you like big
and
riffs,
check them out.
then
I do
their
like good
their
riffs
albums,
and big riffs.
the album's worth a listen. Well, both albums are worth a listen.
I will check it out. I might create a playlist of Assembly Point guests artist recommendation. You know, like
That's a cool.
so I
idea.
can just check out all of the artists and then
Yeah.
so can everybody else. I mean, to be fair, I don't think everyone lives under a rock like me, and I'm sure everyone knows the Amazons.
No, I just think it depends on what you like listening to, really. I guess.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Don Broco and
Wow,
Who
they've
else?
like announced the coolest show ever.
Have
So
they?
they're playing a place called Bedford Esquires. I don't know if you've ever come across it in your time touring.
No.
So obviously it's in Bedford. It's sort
Mhm.
of like they're the only venue in Bedford. I think the main room is 400 capacity, and it's where
Yeah.
Don Brocco are from and where they sort of started. That's why there's Bedford references in their songs. So
Right.
they've announced a show as soon as they can do it. They've announced it for November, but I think it's basically when they can do it with all of this
Yeah.
that's going on, to raise money for the venue to stay alive.
That's amazing. They're really good lads. Like
So
they
cool.
played the Duchess in York, which is a little 400 capacity venue as well.
Yeah,
They were trying to do the same thing, to help support the venue, and then
venue.
it still got squashed by lack of support and trade, unfortunately.
So,
But at least they could say they tried to do their bit.
yeah,
Another band I'm
definitely.
listening to a lot of. I don't know if you heard of a band called the band Camino. Have you heard of them?
I have. I've not listened to them a lot, but I've heard of
You
them.
should check them out. They're really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, they're really good.
Nice.
Anyway, what was your first gig you went to, which you've just said,
Yeah.
Iron Maiden,
Somewhat.
and did it inspire you to want to do your own music?
100%. I'd already been playing guitar for a couple of years and was starting to try and do my own music, but I think it was a big open air gig in Valencia, basically on the port, and
Yeah,
I mean that alone made it seem so cool. But I think seeing one of your favorite bands for the first time was like just inspiring. Like you just
Yeah.
you do watch. For me, I watched them on stage and was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do.
yeah,
That the first thing that actually made me want to do that was I saw The Prodigy on TV on ITV2 playing Isle of Wight Festival,
oh yeah,
and I remember watching that and being like, I want to do that. And I said to Dad that I wouldn't go to Isle of Wight Festival unless I got the chance to play it, and we played it last year. So
mate.
that was a life highlight.
Well done.
So I think that was definitely the first time though that made me want to do my own music and be on stage.
I don't know if you're a believer in law of attraction, but it just sounds like a total law of attraction moment. You basically said what you wanted to achieve, and then eventually
Yeah,
you succeeded in it.
yeah, it was cool. I don't know if you've been to Isle of Wight Festival, but
I haven't.
it's very cool.
I'm not gonna go to Isle of Wight Festival until I play it. I'm gonna steal your dream.
Do it.
Cool, man. That's such a cool story. What you've also done a handful of other mainstream festivals, and you just like seem to be getting a lot more opportunities and stuff. I'm assuming a lot of the opportunities are kind of taking a bit of a backseat at the moment due to the whole COVID thing.
It was sort of. I feel like the last 2 summers were both summers where we were slowly getting different festivals' attention, and we'd get, say, last year we had a handful, and the year before we had a handful, but they were different ones. But they'd said, "Oh, we'll have you back." And this summer, with everything that's happening, it seemed like the summer that we had all the bookings that we wanted coming in, and we were gonna have the best summer of our lives, and now it's crumbled. Which isn't a bad thing.
No, you'll pick it back up, man.
Yeah.
You all you've done now is just done a load of prep work for it to be even better.
That's the way I'm looking at it. I think with how active we've been on social media, I think we always have been active, but it's definitely I've taken to Twitter more. I've taken more time into it. I've realised how easy and how good it is to connect with people on Twitter, and through doing that, we've gained a lot of new fans. And I think, well, I say a lot, we've gained new fans, and with that, I think it's like you say, we're more ready for when it is over. Like we've sold tickets to the rescheduled dates to people that wouldn't have been at the shows in April. So I think it's definitely helped build still, and hopefully the shows will be better than what they would have been when we come out of this.
Well, I think everyone's going to be itching to go see live music. My only concern is it going to be a saturated market from the word go? Because everybody's going to want to play live.
Yeah.
Every venue's going to want to sell out the shows. You know, everyone's going to be putting on like high production shows. Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm excited for all of it too, but I'm just concerned that if they just open the floodgates and then the whole music industry kind of just like crumbles in on itself.
If it happens for so long and then it's not going to be sustainable to
Yeah, exactly.
constantly. So then, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like,
But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I hope it's not too hard to get venues, because obviously the venues are going to have more and more bands wanting to play them. So
exactly.
But we'll see.
And I wonder how many bands have started during lockdown because they've had the time to be able to be creative and sit down and write songs. And
yeah, and at the same time though, in reverse to that, I've seen a very sad amount of bands decide that it is the point to quit.
Oh,
which
that is sad. I don't.
Yeah,
I've actually seen more of the opposite of that, but that's bad.
Yeah, I've seen more people getting themselves online and playing live streams and things like that, I'd say, and putting their music out there. But I have seen also a huge amount of bands that have obviously been trying for years and were coming close to quitting and have gone, well, we're not going to be able to do it for a while now, so we might as well call it a day, which is really poor. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Because I think, although everything does have to have its day where if you haven't got to where you want to be, obviously you've got to decide maybe we're not going to. I think being in part of a band isn't something that should just be about reaching your goals. It should be something you enjoy. And I can never see the day where I want to stop playing guitar in a venue, regardless of if it's to 10,000 people or 10 people, and we've got anywhere or we haven't got anywhere. I still will always want to play music. So I think it is sad when comes to someone's got that stressed out about the music industry that it's come to a point where they're like, I need a break from it.
Yeah, I absolutely love that mentality you've got there, mate. Like the fact that you are like quite openly just saying, essentially, the long and short of it is you have goals, dreams, aspirations, and stuff. But the reality of it is you just want to be able to rock out and enjoy playing the music.
Yeah,
that's sick, mate. It really like screams volumes.
Thanks, man. Like we said earlier, like obviously you set your goals, and to play arenas would be a really cool thing. But my goal, and I know for the rest of the band, the main goal is to earn what would be a normal living 9-to-5 job or something like that, and be able to support a family through playing music. That's the goal. That whatever size.
It's a very realistic goal.
Yeah, I hope
it really is. I don't mean that
Yeah,
patronisingly.
yeah. No,
I think people need to understand that it is probably more achievable than it's let on.
Yeah,
because there are more avenues
to sell things and
it's the whole marketing thing that we were talking about before.
I think a very key thing in line with this that a lot of bands don't realise is, although we haven't had major success with it yet as a band, but sync, like getting your music on TV programmes or stuff like that, you can earn such a good wage from that can fund you to basically live essentially from.
Yeah, I think that
it's only a small part of it, but yeah.
Oh, 100%. But I think that's finding that balance of, are you writing songs to get syncs to get money, or are you writing songs because you like writing songs, and then it just so happened it got picked up for Grey's Anatomy, and now you've got a sync and it's bringing the money in. Like that is that balance of you got more longevity and you got more people knocking at your door after you started writing for what you thought people wanted. I started writing for yourself, and then before you knew it, Radio 1 were like, oh hey, we're going to play your song now. Oh, we're going to play the next one and the next one after that, and then before you know it, you've
very true.
smashed your targets. But at the same time, Christmas #1 hit all day long. You'll never need to work again in your life.
Right. You I honestly hate
backpedaled
to
a bit there.
I hate to say this, Matt, but that is the biggest dad comment I get from my dad. And he says it all the time.
All you need to do...
You just need to write a Christmas song. I'm like, I'm not going to write a Christmas song, mate. But just have a go at it. But I'm not going to... I can't.
My father-in-law tries to force me to go on The Voice or X Factor every other day. And it ain't happening. I'm not going on those shows, mainly because I'm terrified that I'll get laughed off. but also
knew
like, well, I don't know.
It's not.
Well, I have my moments.
Yeah, I mean, those shows aren't my interest in the industry. They're not my side of the
No.
industry.
Same.
From knowing what your band sounds like, I can guess that you are the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the same opinion.
Just walk on and start busted jumping. That's what I might do.
Yeah, you'd get further.
Don't even sing.
Like if we went on and did something silly instead of playing proper music, we'd probably get further.
You'd probably get through. The thing is on The Voice, I wouldn't sing. I would just jump up and down like busted and then hope that someone would turn around.
I didn't even think about it in that sense on The Voice that they're not even looking at you.
Whoa, yeah.
All the crowd cheering, and just the rest.
Like, whoa.
The judges sat there like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. What's his name? The Black Eyed Peas guy. What's his? Will I Am. He's like, I'm totally digging this. Just presses the button.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I turn back around? I've seen him now. I've seen what he's doing. I don't want to see it. Anyways, right.
I've just noticed someone comment about the dad comment, so I am sorry, mate.
It's all good. Do you want to play your last song so we're not rushing you off, and then we'll round off the show? Because I've just been reminded as well that it's Thursday, and I always miss. Is it Thursday today already? Bloody hell!
It is
we've got the NHS support thing, and I keep missing it because I'm running over every night. So let's do your tune, man, and we'll see how we're doing for time.
Okay, sweet. So this is another one off the EP, and yeah, if anyone wants to hear it, it's on Spotify, all the usual stuff. The band goes under the name Tom Lumley and the Brave Liaison, and this is called Casual.
We're leaving it as it's casual. Let's talking about it simple. We're trying to disguise the issue. You want something more than this because you're hasty. And I don't think that you realize that you're hasty. And I've been seeing signs. Red flags are propping up all the time. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation we could do without. That we could do without. That we could do without. That we could do without. We're leaving it as it's casual. Let's talking about it, it's simple. We're trying to disguise the issue. You want something more than this because you're hasty. And I don't think that you realize that you're hasty. And I've been seeing signs. Red flags are propping up all the time. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation we could do without. That we could do without. And it's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation we could do without. That 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 we could do without.
Thank you very much.
Nice work, mate. I don't think I could have put it any better than what Michael's just said. You've killed it with every
Thank
song
you, Michael.
tonight, man.
That's very kind. And thank you, Matt.
No worries. Michael's words as well. I quite agree, though. So I think let's round up the show, man. Let's just quickly recap. You're putting out a new live isolation track every Thursday, correct?
Yeah. well, I say every Thursday. We've got one more left, and I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay.
what the decision will be after that. But essentially it was to do the tracks off the EP. Was the
Right.
first plan, and maybe we'll look at a cover, or maybe we'll look at something else.
Brilliant. So if anyone wants to head over to Tom's Facebook and Instagram page, drop him a like and a follow, show him some love, and check out the latest things that the band's putting out. I'll also add them the band to the Spotify playlist as well. So make sure you check out Assembly Point's guests on Spotify, and I think that's about it, man.
Yep.
Any final words?
Just thanks for having me again, man. It's been fun.
No worries. It's been a lot of fun.
I know
Flown by, hasn't
we
it?
might have waffled at times, but it's been good.
I forget sometimes that like other people are listening, and I just feel like I'm having a conversation, you know.
Yeah, I'm
Good,
very much excited to meet you properly after this, because although we've met briefly in person, we've never actually sat and had a beer and a chat, and I think it'd be...
No, exactly. It'll be good, man. But we've got another live stream that we'll be doing together, which we'll announce real soon. For now, I will speak to you probably just over online, and then we'll definitely hook up for a beer at some point.
Perfect.
But yeah, thanks again, man, for taking the time out to come and hang out. I'm gonna go support the NHS and clap, because apparently it's the last one as well tonight.
Yeah, I feel like we need to do it now, don't we? I feel like we might be...
All right, dude. I'm gonna run. Take care of yourself.
Thanks,
See you
Steve.
then.
Take care, man.
Thanks, mate. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I'm going to run because obviously I miss this every single Thursday where I forget to clap and support the NHS. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, that would be a massive help if you did click that button. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much for the continued support. I will see you tomorrow. I do a daily stream every single day from 7 p.m. Cheers. Good night.